Hello everyone, you're very welcome to this presentation. My name is Kira Hearn and today we're going to look at the gallery exam question in the Art History Leaving Cert examination. So the gallery question comes up in section 3 of your exam paper and we're going to delve into a question now and have a look at how to actually go about answering the gallery exam question. So for the purpose of this presentation, we're going to have a look at one of the examination questions that comes up in the art history. So this particular question is from the higher level art history paper in 2015. So we'll read it now. So exhibitions at local art galleries offer opportunities for art appreciation, education and enjoyment. Discuss this statement with reference to an exhibition in a named local art gallery you have visited. In your answer, describe how the exhibition was curated and refer to 2 specific works you found interesting. And briefly describe and discuss the advantages and disadvantages of viewing actual paintings and sculptures as opposed to viewing them online. Illustrate your answer. So now that we've had a look at a read of the question itself, we're going to break down the question just a little bit more. And we're going to start by looking at the verbs that appear in the question. So verbs are doing words or action words. So this is really important to highlight them in the text to find out what is the question asking me to do. Is it asking me to describe? Is it asking me to list? So we're going to have a look at that now. So discussion comes up twice to discuss something. Describe comes up as well. Referring and illustration. So we'll have a look at these verbs themselves now. So discuss is to offer a considered, balanced review that includes a range of arguments, opinions and conclusions. It should be presented clearly in your text and supported by evidence. So your evidence would be your illustrations. Describe is to develop a detailed picture or an image of something using words and diagrams. Your diagrams again are your illustrations, which back up what you're discussing and describing. So illustrations are using drawings to describe something. They should have annotations which back up what you're saying in your discussion and descriptions. So we'll just have a little look now at what it means to actually be descriptive. So it's very easy when we're writing down on a piece of paper about our experiences, but we're not actually conveying any information to the reader. So we'll have a look now at the Chief Examiner's report from the Art History Leaving Cert Ordinary Level Paper 2013, and this sentence came up in one of the art history papers. So the gallery was visually memorable because it looked great. So we can see maybe what's wrong with this sentence is that it's not descriptive enough. It's not conveying any information to us about why it was visually memorable. How did it look great? So I want to give you a couple of minutes now to think about how you could change this sentence to make it more descriptive based on your own experience of being to a gallery. So I'll give you a couple of minutes now to think about that. Okay, and what I recommend to most people is when you're writing it, pretend you are just describing your gallery visit to a friend. Imagine your friend is asking you the exam question and you're describing to them over a cup of coffee how your experience in the gallery was. And remember to be as descriptive as possible in your text. So now we're going to talk about how to actually go about answering this question from the art appreciation section. So we'll look at the actual question itself, and how to answer the question is in the question. The question very clearly states how to answer. So we'll look at that now. And this will help focus your answer and keep it on topic. So first of all, we are asked to discuss the statement. So exhibitions at local art galleries offers opportunity for art appreciation, education and statement. We will discuss that statement. The next thing we are asked to do is to describe a local art gallery and how the exhibition was curated. So that's what we'll do next. What we'll do after that then is refer to two specific works you found interesting. So we'll name and describe two specific works, and we'll briefly describe and discuss the advantages and disadvantages of viewing actual paintings and sculptures opposed to viewing them online. And then our very last part of the question we have to answer is illustrations. So you should have illustrations in every art history question. So you can see here, we could have one illustration about how the exhibition was curated. You might have a layout or a plan or how the lighting was. And then two illustrations for each specific artwork you found interesting. So this could be an illustration, and they're annotated illustrations, could be an illustration of one of the art pieces you saw in the exhibition. And you give yourself 30 to 40 minutes or 50 minutes, give or take, for answering this question in total. So now we'll have a look at the marking scheme. So the marking scheme is how your examiner marks your paper. And the marking scheme directly reflects the question. So everything you are asked in the question is what you will get marks on. And we'll have a look at this a little bit more now. So you get 10 marks for the discussion of the statement, and you are asked to do that here. You get 15 marks here, so 5 for the name of the gallery and 10 for the discussion. So you're asked to name the local gallery and describe how it was curated. You get 10 marks for reference of two specific works you found interesting in that gallery. You're asked to do that just here. You get 5 marks for the brief description and discussion of the advantages and disadvantages of going to a gallery opposed to viewing galleries online. And you're asked to do that here. And you get 10 marks for your sketches, which is illustrating your answer. So it's important you get 10 marks for this. So that's why your sketches, really good sketches that are annotated, are really important to back up what you're saying in your actual text. Now, so we'll just have a look at some tips and tricks I'll give you just in terms of answering the question. So my first tip is to read the question. This is the most important thing. What is the question asking me to do? So for this, it's RTFQ by 2. So read the question by 2. Read it. Read the question. The next point then is to highlight the key points in the questions to focus your answer. So highlight what is the question asking me to do. Label your question on your exam sheet. Do not learn off essays. Learn details. Once you know details of the gallery, you will be able to answer any question that they throw at you because you already know the details. You're not trying to fit an essay into a question that doesn't fit. And then as well, once you know the details, you can use your own opinions and your own knowledge to answer the question. And you have so much knowledge that can be used to answer an essay like this. Always refer back to your question. And I would do this throughout, that I refer back to the question to make sure that it focuses in on the answer and the question asked. Include relevant information and sketches in your answer. And the sketches themselves are used to back up the discussion of the question and the details you're talking about in your answer. So always annotate your sketches as well, because this conveys to the examiner exactly what you mean. Keep an eye on your time as well. And if you do run out of time, you can, of course, use bullet points. Just make sure these are absolutely focused on what you want to get down in the last couple of minutes. But definitely keep an eye on your time. You've about 40 to 50 minutes for this, and read your question carefully. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation, which was a focus on the gallery question, which comes up in the art appreciation section 3. And I wish you the best of luck in your exams.